Hey, I want to take you on a play-by-play of a real deal for a special VIP client so that you're going to understand the strategy, the way it's implemented, the negotiations, and the way we save money for the clients who start working with us, okay? This particular client, names changed for privacy of protection or protection of privacy purposes. Let's call them Helen and husband or Helen and family. They were in the market looking for a home for themselves. I'm going to now give you a complete background, explain exactly the deal flow and how we saved them a ton loads of money. If you want somebody professional to help you with your property journey in Dubai, don't hesitate to click the link below. Get in touch, we'll talk, or my team will talk to you at least. And don't forget to hit the like, subscribe, and bell icon. Show real first. Hey guys, welcome back. So look, I'd love to hear from you, so don't hesitate to put some comments in the comment section. Obviously, if you want to work with an expert advisor or my team of advisors, there is a link below. Just hit it, click it, let's talk. Don't forget to hit the like, subscribe, and bell icon, okay? Let me give you a little background on this client, okay? Helen and family, okay? They are, so to speak, a VIP client of mine. They have bought already 4 properties, so we've got that. I'm not going to say a lot of trust, I'm going to say we've got extreme level of trust between each other, because all the properties that I've helped them buy have been very, very successful, okay? They run a multi-million-dollar business, okay? So business owners, which makes them, as you guessed it, super busy, okay? Now, after all the properties that they had already invested in, they were finally ready to buy a home for themselves, okay? So this is their home, okay? Because they'd been living in Dubai for the last 30 to 40 years. They'd always rented, but they had a ton of cash flow because of their business, and now it was time for them to buy, okay? What was the strategy? Now, the strategy development for this client, let's just do it over here perhaps. Okay, the strategy development for this client was a little bit faster, okay? It did not take too long. As I said, I had a prior relationship with them. We knew each other for about four years almost, right? They invested anything real estate related. They're VIP clients of mine, so they just pick up the phone and come and talk to me. So even if it wasn't to do with the properties that they had invested in with me, anything with their landlord, anything else, they would actually come to me and I'd be able to answer them very fast, right? So the strategy development with this client of mine was a little bit simpler, because I knew what they needed in terms of the areas that they wanted, the size and the type, okay? So they were primarily looking at villas, okay? Which actually led me to say the way we implemented it is, let's just move on to the implementation phase, okay? And obviously all of this was done over several weeks. I arranged for them for viewings in key areas that was close to their business and close to where they already lived, okay? So it had to make sense, because in Dubai there's maybe about 10 different villa communities you can choose from, which are freehold. But for them particularly, the viewings happen in very niche areas that made sense for them from a community perspective, both for the way their business operates. Remember, they're running a multi-million-dollar business. I'm talking in tens of millions of dirhams, from where their warehouses is, where they were already living for the last 30 years. Because I knew them very well, I was able to find them select viewings in areas that made sense, which allowed us to make a rather quick decision on the exact area, almost the house that we were looking to make that purchase in, okay? So that's the implementation and that's the strategy, okay? Now, this is very generic. Almost any Tom, Dick, and Harry can almost get you there, okay? Obviously, my value here is I already know them. They've bought several properties from me. I know the level that they operate at. I know if they tell me that they're going to be at 8:30, they're going to be at 8:20 on the dot at the appointment. And I know that their time's precious. They're going to leave by 9:30, which means they're going to leave by 9:30, right? So while anybody can do this, you've got to be professional enough to work with them at their vibration, at their frequency, okay? Now, the villa that we finally decided, what we ended up buying was, now I'm gonna give you a little bit of a developer background, okay? So the final property was in an area called Falcon City, okay? Falcon City. Why was this really good? It's a little bit out of the city, but not too far, okay? It's got bigger houses, so it's got big rooms, okay? Anybody who's been living in Dubai for the last 20, 30, 40 years, just like myself, is used to bigger rooms, okay? That's how just Dubai was built back in the day, okay? They're very good quality, okay? Now, what's my benchmark of stating that they're very good quality? My father, who's an architect and engineer, worked in Dubai municipality for 27 years. Every building in Dubai between 80 and 90s, my father's approval signatures are on that because he was working with the municipality, the government, right? Anybody building had to go to him to make sure that he could check, his team could check everything and make sure that everything's in place, okay? So, very good quality because he told me so. Like, you know, we've got some family who already live in Falcon City, and he told me that, look, this is really good quality villas, okay? Now, here's the kicker. Now we get into the real meat of the deal, okay? Because I'm going to give you the details on how the villa was priced and what we ended up getting out of this. By the way, give you some background. All of this happened in 2019. Okay, so this happened in 2019. Now here's the kicker, okay? What did we end up defining and finding? We found in Falcon City a brand, so let's talk about the property. Okay, so we found a brand new villa. Now what I mean by brand new villa, this villa was actually, I think, made by them 2 or 3 years prior, but nobody ever actually lived in it. It is possible that this villa had gone into something that we call a default or a cancellation, where it had come back to the developer and now was with a clear title deed ready to be resold, okay? Now, this is what the developer was offering. If I remember and my memory serves me correct, they were offering a 4 years payment plan, and the price that they were offering, so they were offering a 4-year payment plan, and the price that they were offering was approximately 6.5 million dirhams. Okay, now given that it was 2019 and it is pre-pandemic, the 4-year payment plan was super good because the villa was ready, so you could technically move in today. Okay, now if you've got a 4-year payment plan, you can pay the 6.5 million over 4 years. I think it was 5 years, something like that, and just be done with it. Now obviously, we being we, me being me, our job is to save the client money as well when they're getting into the deal. So now we step back and start doing our negotiations, okay? So what are the first things we do when we're negotiating? You've got to do recon or reconnaissance on the market. You've got to understand what a similar priced villa is being sold at in the market, okay? And this is not what I found out, okay? A similar priced, so let's just do market research over here. Okay, market research. A similar priced villa was priced somewhere between 5.2 to, let's say, 5.6 or 5.8 million, okay? Something like that. Now, there was a couple of problems with these villas though, okay? While they were at 5.2 to 5.5 or 5.8, and even my buyers, they went and visited them, they had just been used for 4 or 5 or 6 years to the extent of being abused that they were in very bad condition. They weren't in very good condition, which meant that we would have had to spend about 500,000 dirhams on it. minimum to bring the villa up to a good, decent standard, number one. Number two, if we bought from the resale market, we would have no payment plan. We would have to go to the bank, and this client did not want to take a mortgage from the bank, and we would have to actually then somehow pay all of the 5.2 or 5.8 in one shot, right? So you've got cash flow happening in one go. Number two, this client would have had to pay about 200,000 dirhams approximately in agency fees as well, okay? So now you can see that a 5.2 villa with 500,000 more, which becomes 5.7 plus 200,000 more becomes totally at 5.9 million. But instead of getting a payment plan of 4 to 5 years, you're gonna have to pay all of this money today, which means what? You're going to have a certain cash flow cost, right? So instead of you using that money in your business, you've now put it all into your one property. Instead of paying over 4 or 5 years, which was the benefit we were getting here, you've got to pay it all once. So we decided that, look, sticking to the developer was going to make sense as long as we could negotiate hard, okay? So this is where, okay, now we start the negotiating process, okay? So now we start negotiations with the developer. How long did this negotiation take from start to finish? About 3 to 4 weeks, okay? Why did it take so long? I'll tell you why. Number one, we're doing a lot of recon. Number two, we did an actual offer to purchase, okay? So we place into the market on the table something called an OTP, okay? What is an offer to purchase, an OTP? It's a binding offer from the buyer to the seller, okay? And if the seller accepts that offer, we're good to go. The deal's on the table, money's on the table. How do we put the money on the table? We give them a real check that's got real money in it. So if the seller wants to deposit the check, now in this scenario, we know that they weren't going to, but even the developer's agent was not experienced enough to handle this, so I had to explain to them. And I actually, one of the tricks that we use over here is we give the check in the developer agent's custody. Nothing's gonna happen. They can't deposit it because the check is bound by the terms and conditions in the OTP. You just lowball an offer, right? So you start at, let's say, they were asking for 6.5. I think we started at 5 or 5.2 or 4.8. Yeah, I think I started at 4.7 million. 4.7 million. Okay, yeah, I think I could refer to my older documents, but 4.7 million is where I started. Now let's get to the next stage, okay? Let me explain to you what we ended up actually closing it at, all right? So, what's the final conclusion? This 3 to 4 weeks is the real kicker. Now, here's something interesting. Your buyer who's buying this dream house of theirs, and it is a dream house, the thing is, your client has the money and now they're going to want to close very fast so they can actually start the process of moving into their house. So you got to hold their horses as well as push the developer to the extent to bring the price down to the maximum minimum. How much did we end up saving? Okay, we ended up saving about approximately 700,000 dirhams on this. What's the other thing? We got a 6-year payment plan. So imagine 6 years to pay the balance. However, what we did do is instead of making a down payment of 1 million, we paid 2.5 million dirhams, okay? So we paid 2.5 million. We could have walked away with 1 million, but hey, I'd rather take the 700,000 dirham discount and the extra 2 years to make the payment with the down payment of 2.5 million. Everybody happy. Obviously, post that, the handover team takes over and then brings the entire villa into the custody of the homeowner. The critical thing is what you've got to understand. This negotiation phase is going to test nerves. It's going to test nerves on both sides. Why? Because the buyers don't understand what we're doing completely, because it's their first house or maybe their third or fourth house that they're buying, but they've never negotiated in a professional, data-driven, template using step-by-step process. Okay, so what they want to do is they want to save a few bucks, get in the house and get going, right? But this was not the scenario over here. What we needed to do for them is actually save them real tosh, right? Real money. Similarly, the developer's not used to this. The developer's used to like, hey, we quoted 6.5 million to you, negotiate with us a little bit, close it at 6.3 million with us. Let's just walk away happy, right? I wasn't ready to do that, right? Which is why we took 3 to 4 weeks, and I'm okay with that, right? We've got to hard earn our agency fees. Number two, we're in 2019, which was a slightly slow period. So I knew the time was on our side and their villa was there, and I knew that we weren't going to lose the deal. Now, if circumstances changed, I could have picked up my speed, but the 2 to 3 weeks or the 3 to 4 weeks is the marination time you need. Sometimes, you know how they say, the more you cook it, the more juice inside it, and the more fun you're going to have out of it. That's the story of this deal, okay? Saving 700,000 dirham is a big deal. It's a good amount of money, but the marination happens here. Okay, and this is what an expert is supposed to do and bring to the deal. Okay, just the tips, the tricks, the templates might not actually bring you the complete result. Background is very clear, strategy is very clear. How do we finalize? But the real reality is the 3 to 4 weeks. If I was to say the one biggest differentiating factor over here is to know to not try to hurry the deal up, to save the 700,000 and to get the 6 years. Okay, if you've got comments, questions, put them in the comment section. Don't forget to hit the like, subscribe, and bell icon. You want this kind of service, you want me to work for you, my team to work for you, get in touch. Ciao for now. Hey guys, thank you for watching the video. I hope you liked it. My name is Fahd Dawood. I've been doing this for 15 plus years. I started in Toronto, Canada in 2006, and since 2007 I've been based in Dubai and doing real estate in Dubai. Look, if you're looking to work with me, there's a form below and my mobile number. I do paid consulting. You can also get help from my team for services. If you like the video, press the like button, press the subscribe and the bell icon, and share it with your friends who you feel would be able to benefit from the content of this video. Last but not the least, I'll repeat, me and my team's role is always going to be to help and select the best property for you. Your role will be to invest in that property, and we will in turn invest in your life and your future. Bye for now.